So, do you have the sound? Do you have the sound now? Oh, fantastic. Oh, I'm relieved. So, hi, the whiskey friend. No, in order, whiskey pilgrim, the whiskey friend, new drum drinker. Oh, Alan, I'm very happy to see you there. If you want to come in, I will put back, let me see, this thing. Yeah, thank you, David. Hi, David, on board. So, I'm relieved. 6 minutes after. Sorry, guys. Basically, before someone comes in or go further, last week I had to cancel a live in French with 2 guests. In fact, I had a conversation earlier on with someone very important in the whiskey industry, and that I enjoy a lot talking with, and who is a master in what she does. And she accepted to go live with me. She couldn't today, but someday we'll see when in the near future. For now, I wanted to do a little news about the channel in this C period. Well, I started to do more videos to give you guys some content for those stuck at home. I know some of you might work at home or outside, and sometimes doesn't have the time to look at my videos. And there's so many videos now out there that I think one cannot follow everyone or every video at a time, but there's a replay. I don't do much premieres. Maybe I should do more. I don't know. And live depends on technical issues. So yeah, I set a few bottles on the table to see if you guys wanted me to try some and give you my impressions. Yeah, because I started videos with the A to Z or A to T. Let's say Abelard to Talisker, for instance. Bonjour, José. Pas de souci, je peux passer en français aussi. La majorité est en anglais aujourd'hui, mais voilà, on peut se comprendre, je pense. Welcome to a French compatriot and for the first time, thank you, José Daniel. Yeah, so I'm gonna do 2 videos, whiskey reviews per week. I'm trying to keep up with this thing, 2 videos or minimum 1 per week, plus a live every 2 or 3 weeks, and 1 time per month, and maybe more, some themes that will be special themes, maturation, finishes, stuff like that, or whiskey learning or whiskey making. So I posted yesterday a big video, a bit too long, I know, sorry, but you can pause it and see it another time, about my whiskey book collection that was called Whiskey Learnings. Learning because this is how I started to learn about whiskey, and I encourage you to have a look at this video. I added some links in the description. Hi Paul, good to see you there. I added some a list, I think 16, 15 plus 1 I forgot to mention. Of course, the stories, the story of the whiskey distilleries of United Kingdom by Alfred Barnor, 1887. It's an old book, but it has been reprinted a lot of times, and with his own engravings illustrating the the trip to the distilleries. Alfred Barnard visited around 200 distilleries from the UK and 129 distilleries just for Scotland. And within those, his testimony is very important because there's many that were closing after that. So we have a really interesting insight survey of each distillery, and with a very detailed, in-depth description of everything in every corner of the distillery, if I may say. I've printed some pages because some are free on the internet. I couldn't find back the link to put it, but if you do some research on Googling, you'll probably be going to find this very important book. There's another one I couldn't find, which is more a scientific book. Probably sold out, that's why I cannot find informations. But yeah, so also I ask people in the comment of my Whiskey Books video if they have references for specific bourbons or Irish whiskies. They don't hesitate to add their go-to book about those whiskies. So what do I have on the table? First of all, I would like to thank two people which I finally received, and I'm relieved. Their samples, the Whiskey Novice. I received samples that were supposed to be used in our live a few weeks ago, but we're going to go live again for some tastings on his channel first. And what I have here, Dunville VRPX 10 years old single malt. We have a blind taste, and we have Powers John Lane 46%. And there were a few other things in the parcel, but it's a bit of a surprise. I'm going to show you two, but there are others. Thank you very much, Frederick, for your beautiful set of samples. There's two sets. There's one about a closed distillery from Sweden, and I was very curious of. And we're going to go live with Frederick for that. I don't know when, but in several weeks. But he also sent me some Dinstons, such as these are opaque, so doesn't explain too much, but it's this Dinston 20 years old, also cask matured, for instance. What do I have else on the table that you might want me to try? I have this German whiskies. I had to add the French, half French rep is more than a rep, but then the live didn't work. I have some samples. I have also the new make. I was very curious. The new make. What else do I have? And you would like to have a feedback, tell me. Aaron Sauterne in French. Cask finish that I recently opened. What do I have? Coffee malt from Nika, which is not a whiskey with coffee, but using column stills, but malted barley in it. So this is different. I have this for my friend Guillaume. I don't know if he's there yet. Mictus Bourbon, 10 years old. I have Eagle Rare as well. A nice Japanese genuine blend from the White Oak Distillery. It's a black label, there's red label, there's single cast, there's a lot of things. I can see other comments, so I hope the chat works well. Let me refresh it. Highland Park, Valkyrie. What do I add? Just a few picks. I'm not going to drink them all. I drink less now than before because it's a bit hot now in Paris and under the attics. Oh, hi, Jim. Let's just show you your samples on the camera earlier on, and forgot to show this side. So thank you. So yeah, Dinston Oloroso I have also. So people just ask what you want to try, and if you're gonna want to go live with me, I put the link earlier on. So yeah, I don't know, Frederick, Anthony, Nikki, Jim, if you like, Alan, who else has got a Paulie has also a cam. So, oh, okay, there you go.
Hello.
There you go. Oh, hi, my friend. How you doing?
Oh, great. How are you?
Yeah, I just saw your video. That was fun. The latest one. And
okay.
yeah, and Alan, even you see? Not Alan, sorry. Did you see the one from Chris Moore, The Last Drop?
Oh,
he
yeah,
did
the
some
one with the McMahon.
kind of anime with
Yeah, that's
McMahon.
nice.
First time I see something like that. How are you doing yourself? Like I said, I'm very relieved I received your sample.
Oh, yeah.
And I may try a Dinston now. I'm not going to try the Swedish one. I want to have my notes.
Yeah.
But what's new on your side? Let's not talk too much about C, but...
Oh, okay. No, all good here.
But if you like, no, I don't want to do like Roy. I understand why he does that, because it's also a family story. It's a bit tough for him probably, but if we don't speak nothing nowhere about this, we might be sick because we're keeping everything for ourselves. But it's not a mandatory discussion. I think people prefer me to speak about whiskey, but feel free to speak about everything you want, even
yes, of course.
I'm not a super fan of Ghost. I don't know them in depth. That's also because
I saw them live with Metallica last summer. Yeah, so that was really cool. But it was a too big stage for this band to play at. It should have been a little bit later, but still, that was good.
Okay, Alan, have a good dinner. Bye bye. So yeah, basically, we can do a bit of kind of interview if you like, or cross interview each one.
Right now, or
now, if you like, just short one, see how it goes with people, or if you want me to try other things, but
which Dinston are you gonna try? I'm actually very pleased that you got the samples. Which one? Which Dinston?
I got the 20 years old Oloroso cask. 23 Oloroso. It's yours.
Yeah, no, I don't remember. It was so long time ago.
But they're cask strength, so maybe I said to myself,
maybe
I will try. Yeah, to start with.
46.3. Yeah.
So it's can you tell us a bit more about this one while I pouring beer?
This one, I don't have the bottle here, but it's in the background there somewhere. That is they celebrated the 50 years, I think it was something like that, 50-year anniversary at the distillery. So they released this bottle that is a combination of four casks. So one is 40 years old, one is 30 years old, one is 20, and one is 10 years old. So
40.
Yeah, so there's 1%, 7% of this whiskey is up to 40 years old, and the youngest is 10 years.
Okay, so 13 and 10.
40.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was quite interesting. Just one-off thing they did, and I tried it at the distillery, and I was really pleased with it.
Okay, so if you want to go grab the bottle...
yeah, of course. I can do that.
Please
it's a good thing I have pants on. So
entertaining people.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. So yeah, we're gonna try a sample from Frederick. He sent me, and it took a while since to receive them. Okay, we're trying this. Thank you, Wim. Frederick. So we are trying this. Can you show the bottle, please? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
Oh, fantastic. I love this kind of label they do.
Yeah,
It's
really
very
nice.
close to the one of the 1997 Palo Cortado cask finish.
Yeah, no,
It's
I tried it. I have tried it, but I didn't
uh,
buy it.
you didn't buy, yeah,
No, I
it
didn't
was,
because it was what was it last year? I was in a whiskey festival in Germany, and they had a lot of different bottles, and I only bought the Tobermory, the one I
yeah.
reviewed last review I done, because I didn't have that much money with me, and they basically cost the same, and I thought it was such a different bottle, you know, how it tasted, so that's why. So there you go. There, everyone go if they're interested. And the
And you
back.
have the 12 Palo Cortado, right?
No, I don't have a 12-year-old. I have
Which is a,
no, I
oh,
have a 9-year-old
but you
in
had it.
Bordeaux red wine cask, the 20-year-old Oloroso sherry cask, the 23-year-old Oloroso, the 14-year-old Deanston some Spanish oak as
Okay,
well.
so, oh,
Yeah, I think you got a
oh,
sample
I
of
don't
that as
have
well,
this.
don't you? I
Oh,
think you
oh
have.
yeah, thank you. I
You
just
do.
have bottles wise. I just have the 15 years old organic and
Oh,
the 16, which is there, and this one, 2002.
ooh.
Oh, camera is
Yeah,
not good.
I had that one at the
Oloroso,
tasting
organic Oloroso. Sorry.
there. I think they had that one at the festival as well. They had so much whiskey there. I actually drank too much than I should have. So, yeah, no, it's okay. I was actually very great. There were escalators down there, so I could hold on.
Oh
So,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah, it.
Okay, so cheers, my friends.
Yeah,
Skål.
skål. How do you say it in
What do you
French?
have in your glass? The
Me,
same?
no. I have a Swedish whiskey here. Ven.
Oh, spirit of Ven.
Mercurius, the corn whiskey, first Swedish corn whiskey.
Okay, haven't
It
tried
is
this distillery yet.
no, they're good. They're
Another
really
one
good.
that's not imported in France, my friend.
Oh,
There's
it's
only
not. No, it's actually. I think from where I live, it takes me 2.5 hours to get there.
Whiskey
So
Exchange has it, right? Or
they
Master
probably
of
have.
None.
I'm not sure.
One of the two. They have this brand. Okay, let me give you my first impressions, and then you
Yeah,
can give.
yeah, of course. Cheers.
Wow! Cheers. It's very elegant, very
Yeah.
balanced. I like this. Probably because of the old cask, they give some more depth.
I'm just gonna see here because it says what kind of cask it
Cask was
is.
it?
Yeah, I'm gonna see here. So let's see here.
Sherry.
The oldest one is from 1977. It's a whiskey refill, so I don't know really what that means. The second one is from 1982. It's an American oak. Third one is from 1996. It's a port pipe. And the one from 2006 is a Pedro Simene. Simene, I can't really pronounce that.
Jimenez. Pedro Jimenez.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, a lot of things. That's why it's rounded but very rich.
Yeah.
Lots of candied fruit.
Yeah. It's
A hint of sherry, some orchard fruit.
yeah, it's
Very
really
beautiful.
nice.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. You like things. You know, sharing is caring.
Yeah, you started to know my taste now. If you watch me.
Yeah.
And me as well. And we share a love for Springbank, for instance.
Oh,
I saw your local bar series. I got only one, but the 16.
Yeah, I know. I actually opened up.
I know it's not your least favorite, probably, right?
No, it's not actually, but still, it's an interesting thing to have.
Well, if you tell me my favorite from those I have is the 1966 local barley.
Yeah, I know you wrote that down, and I only thought that one. They only did one, so
2,000 euros probably the price now. Hi, Whiskey Jason. How you doing? We're gonna go live too soon with Whiskey Jason about German whiskies. So yeah, I'm trying for Whiskey Jason coming up now. A sample of a whiskey that Frederick sent me from the Dinston Distillery, which seems very nice. I won't take notes. I'm just giving you my impression. Also to thank you, Frederick, for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
There's some kind of. I think it's the port that crushes a bit the other, the port and the peaks, but
you're an experienced one here. So
No.
no,
When I mean crushes, it's not aggressive, it's not
no,
dissonant, but it. I started with the sherry notes, the oloroso sherry, and then it's like in crossing on the highway, and there's others coming in to integrate.
okay.
It files. So it's not dissonancy. It's more rejoining the show, but it was unexpected. So I even have some wax.
Mm. I hope you're gonna enjoy the Swedish ones. I thought because
Yeah.
I thought.
I hope to.
Yeah.
Some sugar, and even if I do not, I will be very happy because it's a rare occasion. So
Yes, of
in that,
course.
thank you. Very nice. I guess it would probably deserve 20 minutes in the glass before I try it, right? Or something like that, or 10 minutes at least. So maybe for the assessing with the writing and all the jazz, I will take more time. But
Yeah.
now we are cam, so okay, I'm gonna go with the palette. So if you wanna just say something while I'm trying it about what you're tasting, please.
Oh, what I'm tasting. Yeah. It's this one.
Yeah.
There we go.
So what are the
Swedish.
main notes? What are the main notes
Right now.
you got? Just a few spoiler. Maybe you're gonna do it on video.
Yeah. I would definitely say corn, of course, yeah, popcorn. Some vanilla notes. What more could I say? I mean, maybe some caramel or fudge. I don't know. I get those confused sometimes because I don't really know the difference between them actually. As well as some. It's really sweet, just really nice, if I should say so. I really like this whiskey. So
Well,
there's not more.
thank you. Me, it's very rounded. It's very melted together. It shows some edge and age.
Yeah.
You can feel there's some younger stuff in it, but not as young as you could think. So I think it's the kind of, and I had the feeling about it, it was going to be like this. It's a kind of thing I like, which I call it, even if it's recent, right? It's 10 years before, or the bottling date.
Oh,
Or
when
year.
I bottled it? Oh, it was I bought it like 2 years ago, I think. 2 years
Oh,
ago.
it's recent. Okay.
So it's like 2 or 3 years ago to start bottling this one.
But what I like about it, it's like what I said in my knowledge statement video question. It's like it's a multi-vintage. And a multi-vintage going back to some 30 or 40 years old stuff. And this, if when it's well done, and here it's beautiful, it's like the historical NAS, the Springbank CV, which is a lesser, of course, width of ages. The Abuna, the older Abunas. So there's quite some array of flavors and of ages, and that gives for me depth, which sometimes the younger expressions or only 15 to 18 years old doesn't have. But it's beautiful. There's some crystallized ginger, crystallized.
It was a long time ago I drank it actually.
Crystallized fruits. I'm gonna just a few drops. Hi, Silverlock Whiskey. Happy Easter. Yeah, I forgot to say. I was so stressed it wasn't working. Going to work that I forgot to wish you guys a happy Easter wherever you are. Just a few drops, 2 drops. Because it's very delicate and when it has some age. Okay, new drum drinker. Have a nice Easter dinner. Take care. Sorry about the schedule, but I was so afraid it won't work later on. I didn't want to interfere as well with the Roy Aquaviti. Oh, you have echo.
Yeah, it was just myself.
Okay, so now I added a few drops of water. Just 2, in fact. Aha. the slightly winey sides showing, just enough for me, of the Oloroso, but also of the port, I think. The PX really plays second violin, to my surprise. It's just adding a layer of sweetness, something very delicate. Just saying, hey, I'm there, but not, hey, I'm there. So I like this way. This is very delicately. The master distiller crafted this very carefully, and I like that.
That's good to hear. Yeah, I think it was limited to 1,400 bottles.
How
But
much?
I heard they're gonna release 1,400 bottles. But I heard that they might release a second batch on this one, or like another version.
Thank you. It's very good. I will take time to assess it. So I think it could be some logic to then try the organic Oloroso, but people might like to see something else tried. I don't know. People, if you've seen previously, tell me what you would like me to try and comment. Let me. Sorry. So again, I have Sleer's Oloroso finish German whiskey. I have Arran Southern on the table. I have Highland Park Valkyrie. So Dinston 2002 Organic Oloroso. A French, I forgot to mention, Glenarmor, my favorite distillery. Still with this camera, it's not as good as the other one, but for the other one, the signal is even worse live. So I don't know why. Have another one which is from another distillery, the oldest one. Actually, it's the old packaging. You know this distillery.
Yeah, we have it in Sweden. You can actually order it in Systembolaget.
It's a sherry finish. I have this that I bought a few years ago. I recently opened it, which is very nice. Kleinisch 2001. You don't even see the label, I'm sorry. Oops. Kleinisch 2001 refill sherry cask at 54 point ABV. Non-chill filtered natural color like the previous ones, at least the Glenarmor. I have this that people could overlook, but I tend to like it. Devon 18, it's the rebranded range, which I found much more interesting than the previous one. Seems to have, let me check, doesn't say. Seems to have less caramel added. It's still filtered. It's only 40%, but I think it's beautiful. I have a request for the Nika coffee malt. So you do it, but before I finish the round trip, Kingsbourne, a lovely surprise, but I knew it when I tried it at the Whisky Live last year. 3 years old, 3 to 4 years old, Dream to Drum. It's the first single malt they do. Lowlands Distillery, close to the St. Andrews Golf Club, and close to the Lindor Abbey Distillery, which I visited. That doesn't have his single malt yet ready. So they just have a spirit made of the distiller. Also, Wolfburn. I don't know if you like this distillery, Frederick.
I have never tried them. I have seen the bottles on the shelves when I was in Scotland, but I have never tried it.
Yeah, it's the first, one of the first batches, the first edition of the Northland, but before it was called Northland. So that's fun. It dates back to, I have the date here written. I know it is somewhere, but it's always when I on the camera. Oh, 2016. So it's distillery that were opened in 2013, I think.
Yeah,
it's continental single malt distillery that obliged Old Pulteney to change their packaging motto, which said the most northern distillery of continental Scotland. So because of them, which are 100 kilometers on the east, over there, they had to change the so it's fun. Let's see the chat. Nika Coffee Grain, yeah, still have one. Yeah, it's going down easy. Which what I regret is 2015 probably, or 16. The last cast strength edition of the Coffee Grain was presented at La Maison du Whisky at Whisky Live.
Okay.
Oh my God. Ask 152 guys if you're geeky and whiskey-based searching. Oh my God.
Yeah,
It
all
was
Japanese.
insane.
They are crazy
But
expensive.
150 or 70 euros already, something like that. So I didn't now add a zero to it, Frederick.
Yeah,
Like
I
you
have
said
some
in one of your videos about Japanese whiskeys. So okay, I'm gonna pour for you, David, the coffee malt. That was supposed to be discontinued. I heard that, so I bought another bottle. But I don't know if it's true. Oh, got some freezing. Sorry, guys. Yeah, this for me, the Baines and the Cheetah from the Suntory distillery. Oh, I'm still freezing.
Hello. I don't know what happened. Yeah. So yeah. I hope he's coming back. This is his show. But yeah, cheers everyone. These things happens. Yeah. So I hope everyone has having a good Eastern or whatever.
Are we here again? Sorry.
Yeah, no, okay. I was trying to talk to everyone.
Okay, I'm just doing it a bit larger to see us a bit more, and then I'm gonna do it. Sing us a song, me a song. I haven't drunk enough to sing a song. Hi, Mashburn, thank you for coming in. 9 people watching. Good, it's getting more. So we're having now, on David's request, Nika coffee malt, which is not coffee infused. Some did some coffee finishes, crazy stuff, but I don't remember which distillery was it. Maybe an American one. Yeah, so they do some kind of crazy things now. I don't see you well, so I'm gonna switch back to this. I prefer.
Okay. Yeah.
So do you know this one? Certainly you have it already. I don't know if you like it, Frederick, the coffee.
Oh, I have it here in the background.
Okay, it's a kind of sure asset, right?
It is good, but I mean,
bonne référence.
there are many other Japanese whiskey, depending on what you like, of course.
Yeah. I like in this one the pastry notes. I was going to say before it got freezed, this has this in common with the Baines South African single grain that I like as well. The difference is this one is 45% ABV and no coloring, I think, while the Baines, another
question there, so I was just gonna show that a Swedish corn whiskey. So,
from one of the oldest Swedish distillery, if I'm not mistaken.
It's one of the older ones. The oldest is McMyra. I think these are second or third one. I'm not really sure. They are located on an island called Ven. So, or Ven, depending on how you want to say it in English.
Then Smogen is more recent, right?
Yes, Smogen is. They are. I think they have like 6 or 8 years old now, actually. So.
I haven't tried
raw cask. I have one. I have one in my channel.
I want to try Chris Goodrum, who sent me a very good channel, by the way, for those who don't know. And he likes also some. Did you see him review things?
No, I don't think.
You should check out his channel. He always puts some metal background between the tastings. And
what's the channel's name?
Chris Goodrum, I think Goodrum Show or Chris Goodrum. I think you tape that on YouTube. He's one of the oldest reviewers, but also he was part of Malt Maniacs, and he now he runs.
He has done. I think he's the guy with the long hair.
Really. Yeah, and the metal T-shirts and.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he does.
and the cat. Yeah, and he does some strange
Yeah,
whine
yeah,
thing.
I haven't seen that guy for a long time actually. So yeah, I will
But
definitely.
he does a lot of music intervals and quotations and stuff. But he's an expert in tasting, I have to say.
Oh,
He's in the World Whisky Awards jury, in a lot of juries,
okay, I
and
didn't know.
he has a shop in Birmingham, Gauntley's of no, Nottingham. Sorry, he directs Gauntley's of Nottingham, which is a spirits wine and spirits shop, I think. He's the expert who chooses the spirits, and he does reviews. Most of the time, it does whiskey reviews and sometimes other spirits reviews.
Okay.
It's very in depth.
Yeah, I have
Uh,
seen him a long time ago.
yeah.
I saw he does
Yeah,
quite
no,
a
I
lot of
say that
whiskey
for the
stuff.
audience because I think not everyone knows this guy. I like to praise other people in my channel, if I have
Yeah.
a very wee channel, very small one. But yeah, so I have a question from Jim. No, yeah, Jim, I think it's the power of suggestion. It is not, there's no, for me at least, I don't get no coffee notes in there. It's pure caramel praline. I think it's in English. It's the word still exists. I have to check it out on a dictionary, but it still says praline, right? In English? No. It's some kind of caramel done with hazelnuts, crushed hazelnuts, stuff like that. So it's derived a bit from caramel, and it's a pastry. It's very much used in French pastries, Paris-Brest, for instance. And I tell Andy, for instance, that Andy Watts, the master distiller from James Sedgwick's distillery that does the Baines and the Three Ships brands. If he comes to Paris, I'm gonna make him try the Paris-Brest pastry, which is a bit creamy, along with his single grain, in order him to catch the same notes from the praline. Yeah. So I think there's no other. Let me check. Other grains. No, 100% malt. That's what I thought. There also have something that's called all malt, but it's not the same process. They use pot stills. This is only, like you see, the best thing is me to show you the column still from Nika that you have on the back label. So basically it's 100% malt distilled in a column grain. So that's a bit weird, but the result is 100% pastry flavors for me. Oh, hi DJ Bacon. Bonjour Bayou Drums, which I take they're probably from the US, but talking French well. Cheers. Yeah. There's something amazing because you think of corn because it's column still and it has some almost, you talked about popcorn, Frederick, is maybe one of the notes I will get here. Popcorn and praline. So it's difficult for me to describe for people who don't know our French pastries what it tastes like. But for me, it's very similar to our pastries. It is different from the coffee grain, which is more corn and caramel flavored. I think this one, in terms of expressivity, is more powerful than the coffee grain. More interesting as well, but the coffee grain is already good. But when you have the coffee grain and the coffee malt at cask strength, which they do not produce it for reasons of shortage, like we said earlier on.
Yeah.
Each of us said that in our videos. We both love Japanese whiskeys, right? So we're a bit weeping now.
Yeah,
but
they
we
used to be cheap.
We still have some stuff. I showed in one of my lives, I showed a bottle on the table that no one noticed, but it was a Yoichi 25 years old cask strength. one could
I
see
only
it.
have a 10-year-old. I only have a 10-year-old.
Yeah, I know you like it. We when this will be over once again, Frederick, because we have a lot of postage problems here. I cannot send nothing for now. I will send you some very good stuff, hoping it was not be lost in the post. Believe me, I would send you to thank you.
I'm very thankful. I'm just glad that my post got to you because I was really
Oh
concerned.
yeah. I love everything. The you know the stamps, everything on it. I have to put some product to sanitize it.
Oh yeah,
But
I understand. I understand totally.
But I kept it. I just cut to have the souvenir of it. I'm not touching it for now.
Yeah. Did you get the paper in there that explains this?
Yeah. Finally, I found it. Thank you. Like I said in lately, and thank you for that. There, it explains very well the distillery, and it has photos of 5 out of the 6 samples.
Yeah, because the last one is it's not from because it's not from the original distillery. It's bought up by another craft distillery because they just went bankrupt. So someone bought casks from them basically. So released.
So thank you again for that.
Yeah, it's really good. The virgin French oak is amazing.
The paper is a bit far, but I'm going to show all that when we're going to go live together about Swedish whiskey.
Of course.
Right? We just have to select a date, maybe in a few weeks or so.
I mean, we're not going anywhere.
Sorry?
We're not going anywhere, are we?
No. Bayou Drums is from southern Louisiana. Yeah, we have some French connection there. Pocket communities, like he said, of French dialect. Yeah, absolutely. While Silverlock Whiskey Club is enjoying a Kleinlich 20 years old cask strength. For which bottler, can you tell? I take it's an indie bottling. There's not much official releases from Kleinlich. They're all no age statement except the 14, right?
I never tried a Kleinlich, so.
Yeah, you like Kleinlich?
No, I never tried anyone actually. No, there's a lot of distillers I still haven't tried. That's why.
You must remind me of this when I will send you the sample. I have this one is beautiful, by the way. Look at the color.
That looks nice.
And it's refill.
Nice.
But it's beautiful one.
I'm just gonna get another bottle of whiskey. I'll be right back.
Yeah. This was from a trip to the Whiskey Exchange in 2016 with a couple of friends, and I picked this and Port Askeg 100 proof. Signature vintage. Okay. Well, it's a give or signatory vintage is not always very good for me. Tend to have a very aggressive profile, especially the French selection. Thierry Benita likes it to be a bit aggressive. Here is the Swedish whiskey, right?
Yeah, this is one of the samples you got.
You're gonna make me want to try it.
Yeah, you're allowed to do if you want to. Seriously, this is the Madeira cask from the art collection they did. Ooh. They have released now one that was in French cognac cask or cognac cask. All cognac needs to be from France anyway. So, but in French.
Basically, guys. Sorry.
No, they released a whiskey that was matured in French cognac casks. So it's sold out.
The coffee malt, so very good, a bit one-dimensional maybe, but very pastry forward notes and I love it. So, excuse me guys, I do want to show my ugly belly.
So should I sing a song?
Skål. So this is the page, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Which one it is again, please?
It's this one, the art collection one.
Oh yeah, the 5. Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember which order I put them in.
You
But it's
noted
repeated.
you noted it very well. So
Yeah.
there you go. Let me put that here. So I'm gonna try. It's the one you showed. Alva?
Yeah.
Alva?
Which one? Oh, this one. Numbers.
Yeah.
Let's see, here we go. Bergslagen, the art collection, single cask, Madeira cask.
So I'm gonna crack it open for you
Yeah, enjoy it,
guys. Yeah.
This is, to me, it's really good. Seriously, unfortunately, not many people. Unfortunately, not many people are gonna be able to enjoy it. Unfortunately.
It depends. The signatory vintage selections, I have some, can be absolutely spot on. It depends what it is, depends when. I tend to prefer what they did before 2002, where they had their own bottling plant and racked warehouses at Edredar and somewhere else. They stock up a lot of casks of different distilleries at Edredar, which belongs to signatory vintage. They have some series that were absolutely stunning called the Preston Field. It's the first range Andrew Symington launched back into early 2000. And they were some 20, 30, 40 years old. Even a Springbank, oh my God. A lot of things in there. It was some kind of prestige range. And then they switch up to their unchill filtered collection, etc., and the cask strength collection. But yeah, we're gonna try this. Balvenie Doublewood 17 is okay. I'm not a super fan of it, but
I have tried it as well. It depends on what you like.
Yeah, today of what they're offering, I tend to prefer the 12. The 12 first fill, and some old things I have that are not released now. So a historical moment.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's Alva Bergslagen.
That is.
I cannot pronounce the distillery name. How do you pronounce the distillery?
Grythyttan.
Grythyttan?
Yeah, that is the name originally from the original distillery before it closed down, and all the barrels they did, the casks, was closed in a vault. And then Bergslagen, who do the gin and some beer, basically bought up the remaining casks just to save this piece of Swedish whiskey history, as they like to call it on their website. So here we are, basically. It has been compared by some Swedish whiskey enthusiasts as a Swedish version of Springbank, which is quite nice to hear, actually. So that's it. And I have no idea where Greg went, actually. So maybe I should sing a song. Or not. No. But anyway, so this is one of them. I can just show you that. It is a Madeira single cask, basically. And it was one of just 493 bottles they made. They still have some left here in Sweden, so I'm gonna buy more if I can.
Have you put that on a blind tasting panel set? I wouldn't have guessed because I don't know distillery, but I wouldn't have said Swedish because.
Okay. No, I have never tried this one blind. I have never tried it blind, so.
How much would you say? I will guess on the 25, 30 ppm, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was something like that, or it was up to 40, 60. I don't remember. Let's see if it says anything.
I don't think it's more than that because it's well.
I think I wrote it on the paper, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it should say that on the paper, I think. On the information.
Lightly pitted.
Yeah.
So I take it's under 30 or even 20, maybe.
So it's around 7. It's 7 to 8 years old.
Wow. I love the nose. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
You could take it for a Springbank lager. That's right.
Yeah, that's why some Swedish whiskey enthusiasts actually do call it a little bit Swedish version of Springbank.
What's the ABV again of this?
It's
53.
15.
Okay, I'm gonna try it neat.
Yeah.
For me, I'm still freezed. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
But
so it's 53%. So
you still see me moving?
yeah, I can see you moving very well.
So it's my computer. I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna try to be in on. So yeah, I can see there's some fruit in the background.
Mm.
This is there's some dusty peat, a little ashy, but very beautiful.
Some
You know
flavor.
what I thought?
No,
Sorry.
no, say.
You know what I thought instantly? It reminds me of my Glenmorangie, which I love and awarded 2010 Petite PX.
Oh.
A bit. The peat is more aggressive in the Glenmorangie, but it has some delicacy, floral, fruity, and peaty delicacy, which is a plus. These things are, when they are combined, a bit like in the Ben Romach 2008 that I like. When those things are combined well, this works very much. Hi, Welsh Toro. Thank you. Oh, the streaming is crap. Oh. Since all this bother. Oh, you're screaming. You mean you don't see us well? Okay. Yeah, so Bayou Drums, please feel free to see our videos because Frederick and I did cover some distilleries, and I think even Frederick did more than me rundowns.
What kind of whiskeys?
Yeah, just ask us if you want to know, and we'll answer. So, okay, I'm going to try. I'm excited.
Go ahead.
Go. Thank you again,
What
my
is it
friend.
now in French?
Santé. Santé.
Santé. Santé.
Merci. Very good. Very melted, integrated as well. Oh my God. I need a bottle now.
Probably I can fix one if you want to. I can probably. If they still have some left in Systembolaget. It shouldn't be a problem.
But at crazy price, right?
Yeah, they are. I think they cost nearly 100 euros per bottle, unfortunately, but they are taking that price in a half-liter bottle. But that's just the way it is. How much?
No, I was expecting more because it's closed.
Yeah, but the thing is that it has still not catch up with all the Swedish secondary market people. Still not realized what is in the shelves. Yeah,
Okay.
but it's gonna catch up. I mean, it's already doing it. This series was not that popular for some reason, but I do like this. I haven't had a Sauvignon
nice.
and a port cask as well.
Just a gentle, slightly winey side in the end. This is not very long. This is not very thick. It has some thinness in it. We could have expected more body, but still, it could be taken for 25 years old because of its depth and not depth, okay, but complexity and the very sharp, refined profile it has, which I think very delicate. Delicate is the word.
Yep. Nice to hear.
Yeah. And I understand the 53 ABV because maybe at 43 or 46 it would not be as great. I don't know. So just try a drop, but just a drop, but one. I'm saving the rest for a proper review.
Of course we are. I just thought it could be interesting to know what's in there.
Yeah. So as you
still very different from the other ones, because
as you put out the bottle out, I say, okay, I have to try with him.
Yeah.
So wants a drink. Second dry day. You have to. I did some earlier on because I had 25 degrees outside and almost the same inside. So I gave up whiskey for a few days. So gout. What is gout? He has a tiny bit of gout. I don't know what it is. Oh, good. Or maybe his nose is.
Okay.
I hope you're well, though, and it's not something else. Take care, everyone. No, I don't want to frighten you, my friend. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to try with 1 drop of water.
Oh, so I see we have a question here from David Owen. If I have tried Mackmyra Kungstorp. No, I haven't tried. I have tried really very few Mackmyras, if I should be honest. I have tried the first one they ever released, first edition, I think it was called, or whatever. And I have tried 2 single casks from private-owned barrel casks from people. So, no, I have not tried a lot. I cannot tell. I have not tried.
If people have tried this more, there won't be so much after Mackmyra, I'm telling you.
Yeah, but in the Mackmyra is that it has gotten a little bit bad reputation in Sweden, but they are earning it. They are still the first one. I mean,
yeah, no, I like them, don't get me wrong, but sometimes I think some experiments are really going too far. For instance, I tried this, the New Drum Drinker, they left, but never mind. I told them I tried this, Skorgs Holland.
Okay, and I haven't tried that one. I have, like I said,
with a lot of raspberry notes in there, and first rate must have been something like 74, which is low in my way of rating. My average is 75 because it's too winey for me. Sorry?
Yeah, but they're quite expensive. That's the moment, right?
Yeah, moments for me, they're all overpriced. I'm sorry, guys. I know the distillery. I know the reps from there. I know Angela. I talked with Angela a lot of times in Whisky Life Paris. I have a huge respect for what they do. But honestly, for me, the core range is nice enough to stay in the core range. And the season range is nice often. Not always, but... So why go to these moments at 150 and more? This is not very reasonable price. For this price, you can have an independent bottling of Scottish whiskey of 20 years old, right? So, or more, and a single grain of
and that's not even the price. And they had I think they're the first ones they did release or something like that. Not the first edition. That what's called Preludium. Or
one of the best they did, honestly. One of the best.
Those are really expensive.
The 6. For me, the best thing they done probably is the Preludium 6. I rated 93 out of 100. I saw that in my archives recently.
Okay, there is one that's quite available outside Sweden now. It's High Coast. Used to be one of the box. Those are really good. Those are really good. I would highly recommend them to try them before, of course.
More Scottish style. I don't know if you will agree. Then,
but they are just actually really good. I was actually never really into Swedish whiskey until I tried them. When I tried Dalve, but that one is now going to be discontinued because they are replacing it with other things. Unfortunately, but that's how it is.
I couldn't get me a bottle of Bucks, the previous name. Unfortunately, I wanted to have one symbolically.
I have one bottle of Bucks. That's a small batch edition. They only did like 300 bottles. It's a PX. I had done a review on a sample I got from my mother because she had a bottle opened. It is phenomenal. It's really.
I have several samples. I think 1 or 2 of the early days. I don't remember which. 51.2.
Yeah, they had stuff. Then they had the Messengers, Pioneer, Explorer.
They have some
they had a lot of but they are interesting to try because.
And the American Oak, I think, I don't know if you agree, the American Oak, which is Bucks American Oak, which is.
I never tried it. It was so
fantastic. It's very okay, but it's very, very good, and it was one of the most expensive for more than 100 euros here for 50 cl, so that's why I didn't bought it. But these guys are doing great. I have only one, which is the Timmer, which was sold at a very decent price, lightly pitted.
I can see David Owen here said something about the Kungstov. It's only for a shop in Germany. So yeah, I have no idea what that one is. Since it's Tov, I would presume it's peated. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say anything there, but sounds like it has some peat in it. Maybe.
Anyway, thank you. It's beautiful.
Yeah,
This was nice to try on direct live with you.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah,
I understand now what you say about that.
It is such a unique thing, and I think it's really sad that not many people outside my country is gonna be able to taste this, because it is something really different. It is not for everyone, of course. It's not something I would give a new beginner for drinking whiskey.
Exactly.
I would not do that, but when you try it, it's really like, okay, what is this? Is this a Scotch whiskey? Because it doesn't really remind you of Swedish. If you think of McMyra, maybe High Coast, it's very rough. But but it's gonna be gone very soon. I think in like 10 years, there's not gonna be any left in the casks, because they did produce 30 to 40,000 liters. So.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna try your samples very carefully, and then I will go back to you to say, please, can you find me this one or this one?
Yeah, of course.
But do they ship alcohol out of Sweden because the system Bolaget, or do they block it at the airport?
Bergslagen. You could actually contact Bergslagen if you wanted to. I think they would really like to help you out.
Oh,
if they
good.
Could. I'm not sure if they can help you out like that, but if you have someone that can distribute outside Sweden, you can try it. I cannot promise anything. I'm just saying that's a way to do it. But it's so little.
We'll see that backstage together. Okay.
Yeah.
What Storo is describing is, his pain. I'm sorry for you, mate. Hope you're gonna be well soon. Overpriced, it's closed. I don't know, and it's craft, right? It's a craft distillery, so we cannot ask the same prices for Kaolila than for Port Ellen or for Karizawa or for. I don't know how it compares to these, Frederick, because it's more recent.
No, it's never going to go up in those prices in the second market. But it is, a piece of history because of what happened with the distillery. It was badly handled, as far as I understood, by the people who own it, not the people who worked in the distillery, because they did really good stuff, good whiskey. But apparently the people who own it didn't really care, and there was a lot of problems due to why they closed, due to the fact they didn't have any money. And a lot of people bought casks, private casks here in Sweden, from Grythyttan, which originally was called. And now, unfortunately, some of those people, as far as I know, have not received back their casks because they don't know, because they were really bad at handling their paperwork and all that. So some casks were lost, as far as I know. The people who bought it up, though, try to compensate those people and try to give them their casks because they had paid for it, as far as they could help them. It was
tough story.
It's a tough story for some people.
Tough story for the investors. There were whiskey lovers and not flippers. I mean, but the others, I don't care.
No, a lot of people buy casks in Sweden. My parents know a lot of people who have McMyra casks, for example. Quite a few different cask types.
David is talking about 3 to 5 years old Swedish oak. Do you mean about the Kungstorp McMyra?
Yeah. Okay. Because Kung means king in Swedish. So, and Torv is what's called peat. I think I say. I would call it peat, basically, Torv. So that would be King Pete.
Well, when we're gonna do our live, Frederick, I'm gonna open 2 McMyras that I haven't opened yet, such as first edition of Sven's Rock with completely different packaging, 50 cl. And one of my favorite, which is special edition number 6. I don't know if you know this one. It's quite old now.
Okay.
It's a bit remote, so I can't show you easily now. But But yeah, thank you for this experience. I enjoyed trying this with you.
I'm very happy to.
And if I didn't like it, you would have saw it on my face.
No.
I would have
No.
been polite. No, but I like it. It's very interesting.
That's a part of the whole experience. You're not going to like everything.
But yeah, this is amazing, and I'm very curious now to try the others. I haven't prepared my files to note and everything, so it's a complete improvisation. But I will do that properly for the others. I'm very curious now. Interesting. Ooh. And all these are peated, or some of these
No,
are
not all
not?
of them. Some are not peated, and some have just lightly peated. There is one, elva, or elva. Alva, you could say alva, maybe. That one has lightly peated, but that's the only one that's been in Swedish oak, new oak, I think this.
And it will be as well my first, where is it? My first Elvaten Swedish indie bottling company.
That one is not on the picture.
That's right.
They're
very famous for non-Swedish whiskeys bottling.
I will get the bottle, actually, so I can show it.
Oh, cool. So I hope you guys are okay and having something in your glass, or not. If you don't wish to, never mind. So yeah, we're talking about Swedish whiskey right now. We can speak of any kind of other whiskey, but we have the chance. Oh, thank you. Wow. And so silent sweet because it's a closed distillery, right?
Yeah, that's why. And also, I don't know if you can see it here. See if I can point it out. It's actually very interesting because the name Grythyttan that they used to call it.
Okay.
Here, it says.
Okay.
Lillkyrka or Lillkyrka. It is actually the name now they have to use because they can't use Grythyttan. So.
Can you show it again?
Sorry. Yeah. There we go. So this is Swedish Firewater or Elvatten. They are a Swedish independent bottler from Gothenburg. They buy a lot of casks from Scottish whiskey brands or distilleries. They're really good what they're doing. I have been to a tasting with them. Phenomenal good. And it was just really good atmosphere in there as well. So yeah, I tried a Mortlach and some other 23-year-old whiskeys they bought from different distilleries and mixed together. It's just phenomenal.
Okay, cool. It was a nice experience.
Yeah.
But I like some peat. So what do I have on the table about peat? Not so much things. To finish with. I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna try that Kleinish. I think with 54% ABV, I probably can't handle. Yeah, I know you're drinking coffee, Eric. Hi. But you know, if I go too far in the night, I will have signal problems, connection problems, because I was told there's a lot of traffic coming from the US, and probably one of the reasons that I'm having this, by the way, still my bad camera, apologies. Kleinlich 2001, 15 years old, 307, 849, and 850. Two casks, two refill sherry casks. 15 years old, 54% ABV, beautiful stuff. Bottled in 2016, so it's only secondary market. Yeah, fantastic Silver Lock whiskey. Life is what. Let me highlight this. I didn't do it yet. Sorry, guys. I think it's a nice statement. And yeah, again, happy Easter, everyone. And Eric is having coffee like the last time. But coffee can be great. And you can put at the end of your coffee. No, let's stay responsible in the morning. So you didn't have any Kleinlich, so sorry.
No, I don't have any.
You will have. I promise you will have some at some point.
Nice. Cheers.
So the wax is one of the characteristics of the Kleinish spirit distillate. Usually, when it's matured, works what I call wildcat temper. And then by chance it happened, I didn't do it on purpose, but it happened. It was a symbol on the, I think, Flora and Fauna bottling or something like that. So it's the emblem of the distillery. So yeah, there's something like mustard, that's something like dried herbs. That's a kind of characteristic of the distillery house style. And with age, it got even more depth with more wax from the sherry when it's sherry casks, not always sherry casks, but often it's refill sherry like this. It's what suits the best probably for me to Kleinlich is refill sherry, not first fill. Like often, I have to say, to let the distillate shine through. And some of the vintages of Kleinlich are among the best, and not so far from the Brora house style.
Yeah, I was just going to ask.
Worcester distilleries, by the way. Yeah. So, Kleinlich 72, I had the chance to try some 30 plus, for almost 40, 35 Kleinliches. I had to sell one from 72 for financial reasons a few years ago.
Hopefully it's financed.
7 years old. It happens. Yeah. But I know it's in good hands, and I have a sample of it. But I got it back, so at some point I will crack it and share with someone. Well, lots of tea leaves, black tea, Earl Grey tea, Demerara sugar, and that Kleinlich thing there, difficult to explain. Cheers.
Yeah, cheerio. Cheers.
Wow. Very distinct style. With again, black tea, brown sugar. There's no additives in there in this range. Some sweetness, caramelly sweetness in the end. Beautiful stuff. It's a lot of layers of hairball and different kind of sugars. Maybe some sugar cane as well. I love it. Are you going up to our last drum maybe before we say bye-bye to people?
Yeah, I'm not sure really what. So I don't really know which one. I have so much to choose from, so I have no idea. So, but yeah, we could go with.
As you wish. I don't want to force you to have something if you don't like. Me, I'm going to finish with that because we're closing to dinner time here as well. But
okay.
We have a question from Eric. Chocolate Easter Bunny. Ooh. Well, a few years ago, Eric, at Whisky Life Paris, we had a famous chef cooking some pieces of chocolate that were infused, I don't know how, with smoky Islay whiskey, and it was Lefroy. So I would say if it's milk chocolate, Eric, I would go for a sherry, Speyside, cask strength. If it's dark chocolate, I would go for Lefroy cask strength or Lagavulin cask strength, my friend. Just saying, my opinion.
Okay.
But if it's you have a Lefroy, right? I recognize the bottle.
Yeah, Lefroy 10 euro.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have two, but much older than this.
Yeah.
Because I have a big collection, I don't drink of them every time, and until they're finished or almost, I don't buy others. I cannot buy doubles of everything here. Maybe 60 doubles of what I have, and no very high. What Eric is asking your batch?
Oh, it's 8, batch 8.
From which year?
Oh, let's see here. 2016, I would say. I bought it the first time I was in Scotland. I bought it there in the distillery.
Ooh.
So
All these tea notes are developing are beautiful. So yeah, I will, if someone wants to, I'm gonna add the details here.
Yeah, of course.
It's not very visual, but so what's the BV of your Lefroy?
My Lefroy, let's see here, 59.2% ABV. So that's something.
And a bit dusty, right?
Take care, David. Cheers. Happy Easter.
Oh, cheers, David. Take care. So yeah, sorry, I'm just putting the details for the geeks who want to maybe track this. Cast strength. Yeah, what it's weird is the ABV. The ABV there. There you go. The ABV with the 0. I have the same thing with some Diageo old rare malt selection, like the one I showed in my Whiskey Books review. And yeah, they put that 0. I don't know why. Probably to tell people the other numbers further on are not reaching the half. So maybe it's 54.0123 instead of 54.45 or 6. So maybe they feel they have to state that, but it's a bit weird or snobbish. So yeah, I really advise you to track this one. It's a beautiful Kleinlich. But yeah, I could have gone for this, which is one of Eric's favorite as well, and which I mentioned to you, Frederick, about your Swedish one, but it's a bit wilder. 2010 peaks.
Is it a peated?
Peated distillery edition exclusive, 55.8.
I had the 1994 Sherry Cask Finish edition.
Yeah, I saw it on your channel, my friend.
Yeah.
But this one is really more peaty than the peaks, give it some sweetness. And this one was at the distillery only.
Yeah.
When I was there, I picked one bottle, and after that, I asked a friend to pick another one because, hi Anthony, how you doing? Kalispera ke, as his Greek, kalopascha, which is a happy Easter, joyeuse Pâques. Yeah, so yeah, Eric, if you want to pop in, feel free. We're gonna stop it in a quarter, let's say, but
yeah, of course.
If you feel like, or anyone else. Yeah, beautiful Kleinlich. I have another one. I have a Cadenhead, 21 years old, which is even more typical. Yeah. Absolutely agree.
Yeah.
And only 8 years old. And I had the chance to try the 6 years old straight up from the cask, sent on a sample to me by Graham, the master distiller at that time. And it was already very, it was almost the same, a bit more aggressive.
Okay.
But the potential it had, I said, oh my God, this one is so good. You have to bottle it, Graham. I told him 3-4 times. And there you go, 2 years after, he bottled it at 8 years old instead of 6. But
I'm just gonna get my bottle, which I can show it.
Yeah, go ahead. And Eric, I wondered if he had a sister cask of this one to keep aside to let it come to 10 or 12 years old, because probably it would have been phenomenal. And also the 1998 PX non-peated, there
Yep.
you go, was a nice one. Yeah, I think I had a 93 sherry cask. I'm not sure I had the 94. I gotta check up my notes. I did a special focus on Glenmorangie on my website with no less than 38 expressions reviewed.
Yeah,
In
I have
French,
only tried 3 of them. So the 15-year-old, this one, and straight the one bottled your own they had. I think it was like a 10-year-old Chardonnay.
oh yeah, Chardonnay. There were
I wasn't that
last.
interested.
No, they did 2 series of Chardonnay cask finishes. There was one that was cask strength that was supposed to be on sale here, but the distributor was so bad. I won't mention the name, but I couldn't manage to get me a bottle, despite the fact I went to order it and praised it publicly. No way, no mean to have a bottle of this, and it was a shame. Oh, here, Frederick, Matt, sorry. I hope you're well.
Yeah.
And we
Matt.
will be really happy to see you back on track online.
Yeah.
And but the most important is to make sure you're safe, you and your family.
Yeah.
So fully understand you're not active right now, but it's not a big deal. But thanks for popping in.
Yeah. Great to see you.
So yeah, what I was saying about Glenmorangie, I don't remember. Such a bunch of casks in the warehouses, and in the experiment warehouse they had among 10 or 12 or 14 different type of casks finishes, and even when I was there were, Graham is very generous. There were among 4 different expressions in the cask tour and the manager's tour. You had the core range, and then you try the cask, and honestly, it was fantastic. One of the best tour I had. Even if Graham was not there when I was there, he was invited to special event. He couldn't refuse. I think it was an anniversary of SMWS. Many distilleries were there. Oh, hi, Guillaume. Guillaume is there. There you go. So just for Guillaume on my table, because he's a bourbon enthusiast, I have this on my table right now.
The rare. I want to try
Yeah.
it there. There. It's really good.
And
Nice.
some great samples of him still to be assessed. So, yeah, I heard Wolfburn, Kingsbarn, Stavron, Kleinlich, Armory, Glenarmore, Dinston, Nika Coffee Malt, Akashi, Maysay, Highland Park, Aaron Sautern, Slears, Oloroso Fass, which means cask in German, stuff like that on the table. And we're almost, yeah, I know you're enjoying some good bourbons. I know. I enjoy too, and thank you, because there are so many things I discovered. Oh no, yeah, it's Matt who likes also good bourbons. Yeah, I haven't been to Isla yet, but I have to say the documentary from Roy with the Scotch taste dummies is
Really
the
good.
second part, especially so beautiful that it's almost free advertising to. Oh, Guillaume is not well tonight. Sorry about that. Take care, buddy. Even me, I waited for a few days to honestly to have whiskey. It was too hot here. And I know it's still calories, so like I don't burn them enough. I don't get out often. I should go more. With the lockdown here, where it's so dramatic and so bad.
Yeah.
Bad.
We don't have a lockdown, so.
Monitored. Shall I say it? No. Okay, I won't say how many dead we are here.
No, but we are like one of the very few countries who actually doesn't have a lockdown, so. That's how it is.
Okay, so for now, Kleinlich and the Freud. Okay, forget the C word. You guys have any questions before we wrap it up? Maybe in 10 minutes or so. If you guys have questions in the chat, we are here. You can speak about French, Swedish, and every kind of whiskey we know, for those we know. Oh, cold and raining here, really? Ooh. What does Anthony says? Yeah, collecting. Everyone speaks about Lagavulin. Distiller's edition. It's a different. Okay. I don't know this edition, honestly. Haven't tried since probably 2016. The Distiller's edition. I tend to be not much enthusiastic about this one in terms of level of pittiness, which for me are a bit lowered by the addition of the finish. But it's still a sweet. Don't expect so much peat as in the 16, even, because the sherry finish is lowering it in the impression on your palate. And it's a bit thin compared to the earlier releases. If you can find on secondary market, I know it's more expensive now. The 1991 edition, I have still some. 1993.
Yeah,
These are the best ones.
I found actually last summer, I think it was last year, actually for the Lagavulin 12 euro cost range from 2015 in a shop in Denmark or in Copenhagen. It has a lot of good whiskey.
I believe you.
No, seriously, that shop in Copenhagen. Unfortunately, you cannot promote because I'm listening Eller than Disney, but the whole YouTube gets irritated. But there's a really good shop in Copenhagen.
Oh, really? Well, it's probably in. It's probably It's probably in there because in this book, and I'm not paid for it. And once again, I showed it in my whiskey book collection. You have also some pages. I'm not gonna look now because it's too long to. They have some pages about whiskey shops in many countries.
Yeah.
They recommend. They are telling you how many whiskeys you can have in those shops, and if they're reliable, etc. So maybe check it out, and you'll probably found this Danish in there. I'm almost sure. There's even some in France. I have no idea they do exist.
No, but they have like a lot of old stuff, whiskeys. I even asked them one time, like, how come you have all these whiskeys here? They're supposed to be sold out since a long time ago. They have a lot of Springbanks that are just really old.
Absolutely, Anthony. Ne, parefto. It's a good start, and also I think it's nice that 2009. Me, I bought the 2010. I haven't opened it yet, but tried several times on a sample basis.
The PC10 is really good. The 10-year-old they did, the heavily peated one. That's really nice.
Which one you say, Frederick?
The Port Charlotte 10-year-old.
Oh yeah,
it's in the core range. That 50% ABV one.
Yeah.
It's a really good whiskey. It's a really good Islay peated whiskey. In my
opinion. You mean the regular 10, right?
Yeah, the regular 10, the green bottle.
Because I haven't tried the one that many talk about, MRC01, something like that. Those with a lot of finishes. I don't know if they're really worthy.
Oh, they're the one that's travel retail or something?
Probably.
Yeah.
And expensive, 150.
Yeah, I have the 9025 up there.
But you think it's worthy?
The 9025 is a combination of different sherry casks they did for the travel retail market. I didn't pay a lot of money for it because it was still cheap by then, but now it's gone up at least twice as much as it cost before on the secondary market, unfortunately.
What I don't like much is when they mix too much wine cask like they did, and I'm afraid Waterford are going to do that as well because
it's just sherry. It's just sherry. They did another one called 9027 that was red wine casks instead.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, as I know, who bought that one thought it was going to be like the first one, but they're two different whiskeys still. This is the red wine, and the other one is sherry.
Thanks. For Anthony, if I were you, I will have for after dinner Lagavulin 16. Even it's 43% colored, etc. It's a sweet one. It's a nice one. Has got some depth. Then go for indie bottlings of You have indie bottlings on the market now of I don't know in which country you are, if you're in Greece or Ireland, or I don't remember what you said last time, sorry. Go for Aerolit Lindsay. It's hard to let me write it. It's an anagram. It's Atom Brands that does this beautiful Kolila with a strange name. It's a very good, honestly, one of the best 10 years old peated on the market. Okay, bon appétit, Guillaume. No problem.
Take care.
À la prochaine. Thank you. Yeah, 8 minutes, it didn't work, and then it worked. Merci, Nami. À bientôt, bon app. Yeah, so you can also go to Port Askeg. I really, if you want one with more oomph, you can go for this one. But also you can go for
like Big Pete or Pete Monster.
Oh yeah, those two are absolutely beautiful. The 8 is still a Kolila. The 14 is a Bunahaben. I was told so. Yeah, and also, like you say, you have the Big Pete. You have the Big Pete in the cast strength Christmas edition. That's often very good. You have also, if you want slight peat, you have to have this, which has recently changed name. I put the indie bottling name, the Rock Island. I really advise the Rock Island to start with lightly peated, beautiful whiskies. This is a blended malt.
It was oyster. It's called Rock Oyster.
Yeah, it's a new name, Rock Island. Yeah, it's good. I assessed it. I had a sample from it. It's good, honestly, but it didn't blow my mind like I thought it was, because it was an anniversary edition. Yeah, I prefer you with light. Well, honestly, it's not super expensive, so it's a nice whiskey, but I'd rather advise those who haven't got this one to go for the 100 proof, 57 ABV, or for 100 euros, the 14 is a stunner. But it's not the same distillery. And even for this one, the Port Askeg 10, I know it has been recast in several distilleries casks, so I'm not sure it's a Kolila 100%. And had contradictory informations about this one, even from the staff, so I can't really tell which distillery it is. But yeah, it's good, so you won't go wrong with that. Which other peated whiskies could we advise, in your opinion, Frederick?
Oh, peated whiskies, except from Islay, I would say Long Row.
Yeah,
definitely Long Row. Bellacking from Edward, they're quite hard.
Not necessarily agree.
Yeah, no, but no.
It has some terrible farmy notes sometimes, but yeah.
Lacheg, there is
Lacheg, 10 years old, yeah.
It's called Aaron has one peated version.
Macrimore.
Yeah.
Soon been the lag.
Yeah. Cobacano, it's called, from Tomatin, is also.
Yeah. What else?
There is Peat Monster from Compass Box, or some of their expression that's peated.
Yeah, Flaming Heart, but it's more expensive. And of course, beautiful distillery, which is a younger one, but go for the Saneg, for instance, which is not everyone likes it, but for me it was one of the best. The Kilchoman Saneg, which is partly bourbon, partly sherry cask. Yeah, Arbet Black is, haven't tried it yet, honestly, Anthony. Corey Reckon is a cask strength one. It's very strong, but it's usually good. Batches are good. Bunabin 12, you have to know, it's almost not peated. 2 to 5 ppm, something like that. So it's not a good example of peated whiskies.
If Buna
It's a
haven't.
nice whiskey, not necessarily my favorite Buna. Honestly, like I said somewhere else, except the limited edition, I tried some that were beautiful. I prefer the indie bottlings of Bunaben all the time.
Okay.
And I have 4 different ones home. Gordon MacPhail, Barry Brossenrod, Duke. What's that strange name of this one? I have another. I don't remember the name. McDougall, something like that. An obscure, not so obscure, but obscure label. 22 years old. And 8 years old Gordon MacPhail. What else? And of course, yeah, Adelphi, but you cannot find it much now.
Is that a Buna haven't? I have a.
90. Yeah.
I have a 35-year-old. What's it called now? Zanzibar edition from Buna haven't sherry cask. 35-year-old.
Official one.
Yeah, it's from Zanzibar. I think they're like a German.
Oh, Zanzibar. Okay, it's an indie bottler.
Yeah. So I bought that for my 30th birthday gift for myself.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. I have one that's not open yet. It was for French market.
Ooh.
Original cask strength, first release. I believe it's one of the best Kilchoman that had been ever released. But I'm slowing down to open it. And of course, it's a nice lapse. I love the seated lapse. No, seriously, it's a nice lapsus. I love it. It's seated heavily in the pit. If you see what I mean. No, I don't have these whole. Everyone's craving now about the 8 years old peated and sherried, and even the unsherried. At some point, I know a friend of ours on the chat. She's not there today, but will bring me some of the 8. But it's not the sherry version. But never mind. Indie Bowmores, also for Anthony, I will say go for independent bottlings of Bowmore. Or if you want something very rounded, very sanitized, but still good in my opinion, I know not everyone agrees, go for Bowmore Darkest, 15 years old, with some sherry casks in it. It's 43%, etc., caramel, but for me, it's still a very good expression. They tend now to drop every name and rebuild an age statement range. Some are good, some are less good. Many are expensive for what they are. For those I tried, the Volts number 1 is good, but probably not worthy, maybe 80 euros or more. Towards all the examples we gave previously, honestly. So Bowmore, yeah, I have a bunch of Bowmore behind me, but I'm collecting for them.
I only have one, the Tempest, 10-year-old.
The Tempest, I have it. It's good. Cast strength. I will suggest, Anthony, if you can find the 12 years old, which is often criticized a lot. If you want to try, begin with an aperitif, Isla whiskey, which is rounded. Try this one. It's 30-40 euros. Will not be your wallet will be safe. But honestly, go Barry Brossenrod, go Cadian Head, go Adelphi, maybe Signature Vintage. I got the one that's very good. Duncan Taylor, if you have in your area. Who else? There's so many indie bottlers. Yeah, and if you want some peat from other... I forgot to name Ben Riach, 10 years old. Curiositas expression, because that's a version which is not peated of the 10. If you have a lot of budget, the 25 Curiositas, 25 years old is awesome. The 30 as well, but some Ardmore independent bottlings are very good. I have one from the Archives range, from Whiskey Base Bottlings, which is very good. We could stay a long time. And Springbank 10 is lightly peated as well, so we can advise it.
We can talk a lot of us.
Yes. But Longro, honestly, Longro pitted, like Frederick said, which is a noise statement, but it's around 6 to 8 years old. It's a beautiful one. It's a real blow your socks off. It's beautiful whiskey, honestly, for what it is.
Yes.
Then if you have more budget, Longro 18 is lightly pitted, lighter than the noise statement, but it's a fantastic whiskey.
But they have all the red series as well. I haven't tried one, but I heard it's supposed to be.
I'm like you, I don't have them. But
the 40-year-old I really like, the sherry casks, the sherry matured one they did. That one was phenomenal, but it was not for everyone because it was just so rough and yeah.
Sure. Anthony, may I ask if you are near a place where you have whiskey festivals? What's your country?
Mine?
No. I know, but Anthony in the chat,
Oh.
because he's asking for advice, but we don't know where he is, and maybe we can help him out. If we found out where he is, it will be easier, I think. We're almost 2 hours. It's great. I'm happy it worked well, and thank you for coming at my help. Because the beginning was oh my god. Oh, Philadelphia. Okay, in the US. So I don't know what it's the offer in the East Coast, because when I was there, I was in Philadelphia, but 70 years ago, I was starting to get interested in whiskey, but not at the point going to every whiskey shop I will come across. So go online maybe to find. There's probably a whiskey show in Philadelphia at some point. Not now, of course, because of the lockdown, but maybe in the autumn or next fall or next spring, I don't know. Check out for, if you go to the whiskey festival or in a bar where it's not too expensive, check out for those stands which have collectors. And for sometimes $10, let's say, they'll let you try some historical peated whiskeys, maybe. Just an idea. It's easier for us in Europe, especially the Dutch people, German people are really spoiled for choice for festivals where they have stands with the collectors' bottlings that we almost don't have in France. These stands come from time to time, and when they don't come, La Maison de Whisky does for us French collectors' corner, which is a special room you have to pay for each drum. Goes from 10 euros to 150, and then you have some Karazawas, but not all the time.
No. Yeah, in Sweden, when it comes to whiskey festival, it's usually since it is so, because of the monopoly we have in this country, it's state-owned. So it's a little bit different there. But you have all the local pubs. I have a local pub here in my town, which is a franchise in Sweden. They have a lot of really good whiskeys. Of course, it's disappearing because of the fact that it is.
Oh yeah, Germany is really. Luna must be very happy, but her wallet may be less. I haven't tried those Ardbegs, honestly, Eric. I saw you did several videos about Ardbegs. I'm not a hardcore fan as you. You know that now. But I like some Ardbegs. I'm happy with the ones I have. Then again, I'm curious of the 5. I'm maybe more curious of the black. But as much surprising as it can be, if I had to pick one now, I would try to have a Ugadale, which is a bit older than nowadays ones, or simply the Anoa for an easy sipper and not expensive.
I only tried a 10-year-old, the Ugadale on the Wicken, it's called.
Okay, yeah. Oh, New York is too far. Oh, I had 2 hours by train or something like that back in the days. Yeah, we all hope that, my friend. We all hope that, because It's your choice, your passion, my friend. Like those who buy Macallan, very expensive Macallans, I don't give a damn. I mean, it's good for you, but I had tried Macallans from 20 years, 15 years ago, 10 years ago. Crazy, crazy stuff. I couldn't buy, but I tried them. And what I try from now, it's nowhere near from that, and I'm not interesting. And for some Ardbegs, it's a bit of the same. Not all, of course. I think the gap is different. I think Ardbeg is doing better now than Macallan is doing now. But then again, I had to ask the question to Nicola Riske, one of the biggest brand ambassador, but she didn't saw the question. So she didn't answer in the chat. I wanted to ask a question if the classic cut was an exclusive to US and Canada, because we don't see it in Europe.
The classic, yeah, is that the cask strange edition?
Macallan. It's supposed to be one of the best Macallans not right now, but we don't see it in Europe, so I have no idea if it's good or not for me. So
is like the cask strange edition.
It's a kind of cask strength, but no age statement. Once again, like they love to do. Sorry,
I think I've seen something on the shops here in Sweden for some time ago. Like
maybe, but not in France. I don't see that in Whisky Exchange at all. Master Malt. I cannot take everything from Master Malt. They're not delivering France anymore. So you can even not see the prices. I cannot. They're blanked. Everything is blanked except the description. It's very frustrating. Yeah. Please do. And if you go to what's the name of the crazy shop they have? Park Avenue Liquor Shop. Oof. Go online, you're gonna get crazy, but it's expensive. One of the biggest. Yeah, probably. Yeah. But is it worth the price, the hype, etc.? I'm not sure. But still, if I have the opportunity to try it, here in France, Ardbeg Day, and I guess in many other countries, has been cancelled. So we won't see. There were 2 festivals here that were cancelled.
Yeah, same here.
So what else to do? I have enough whiskey, honestly, and I think my friend Frederick too, to handle a few months more, to say the least.
Oh, you mean how much? Oh, I can stay the rest of the year here, definitely. At least.
But yeah, then again. Novelties are always interesting to hear. The King of Prussia, yeah. Oh, Eric wants to review it, the first to review it. Well, if I were you, Eric, and you've been to Ardbeg, right? If I'm not wrong. Why don't you write them as a big Ardbeg fan? You write directly to the distillery office there and try to get some exclusive stuff, and I think you're a member of the committee as well as me, so maybe you have something to try there. Don't know. To get some exclusive stuff in advance. There you go. What else? Any other question, guys, before we finished? I think we're going to finish in 2 hours. It's in 7 minutes or so. If it's okay with you, Frederick.
Yeah, of course. I need to eat something.
Thank you so much for being there all this time. I got all these bottles to
I don't think, if I should be honest, I don't think these lockdowns are going to be over very soon anyway. So, unfortunately. So That's what it is. Let's do our best.
Well, sometimes they're not super reactive. It's the same with their, Eric, with their social media. It's LVMH. It's a French company. Yeah, cheers. They're not super reactive. I asked for another cork. I have Glenmorangie 18. The cork broke. And this is a very special cork, weighted with metal and wood, and I put something else, but it looks ugly because all the rest of the bottle is beautiful. So I asked them if they could provide me one. I even showed the bottle in a review, etc. they don't care, they don't answer. So I suppose I shall wait for a friend who has finished his own bottle to give me his cork. But they're a bit disappointing marketing-wise and relationships with customers-wise, honestly. So I'm not very surprised of what you say. Though your channel is quite big now, and I think you could easily be a welcoming and brand ambassador there. Or even Mickey, for his retirement, have him in interview. Maybe would have been happy with that, but the parent company probably not. Always the same thing. So yeah. Yo parakalo means my pleasure in Greek. Yeah, we're trying to help people doing our reviews, going live, and helping people to learn more about what we have experienced. Then after, of course, we give recommendations, but it's always everyone's taste is not the same. So we might not satisfy everyone. So give feedback, please, Anthony. If you bought something we advised you, and yeah, give us some feedbacks next time. Okay, I think it's time now. I think it has been 2 hours almost. So yeah, that went well. Thank you so much, Frederick, once again. And
You're welcome.
for your lovely Swedish rare whiskey. Beautiful. Gonna investigate for more and tell you at each step what I think. So yeah, thank you again for being there. Very cool guest, and like I said, we will do another time a special metal live at some point. What does Silverlock say's last question? Yes. Super recommended from me.
And me as well, if it's the 12
There you go. One of the best expression and in the core range they ever released. Very well balanced sherry cask selection. I don't know if it's consistent year after year. I have a 2012 or 14 edition. There's the typical melon, a bit different fruity notes from the other distilleries, but it's super well balanced. It's another kind of sherry. It's very well, really heavy.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, go for it. There you go. I think we have it. Thank you so much, Frederick. See you soon. Talk soon.
Yeah,
and
take care.
And take care, please. You and everyone. And again, happy Easter. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, Frederick.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you will be coming soon, and stay tuned. Click the bell notification and the like, and if you like the replay, etc. You know the words. And take care. Bye-bye.